Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Comfort Level Podcast. This is definitely the first time we've done this tonight.
Re-welcome.
I'm Maddie, and I'm here with...
applause in there.
I'm Sam.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Sam.
And let's just get right into it. Not because we're on a time limit or anything, because the first 30 minutes wasn't recorded.
We have to get right into it.
So... This first story comes from Comfort Level Pod
on Reddit. This is new information. This is absolutely new information.
Let's go!
So, if you guys have any stories that you would like us to listen to, or if you want to give other people advice, go to r/ComfortLevelPod. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend's mother she's no longer practicing the religion she was brought up in? Guys, what do we think here?
What?
I
feel like I need more context. Like, what is... I don't... Is it your place? But I don't know.
My girlfriend was born and raised in a religious family, but around 2 years ago, she started having doubts. She doesn't hate the religion or anything. She just didn't think it was for her. We met about 1.5 years ago and have been together for about a year. When we met, she was still questioning, and then about 5 months ago, she decided it was official. She was agnostic. She didn't tell her parents all this time because she wanted to be 100% sure. At the beginning of the week, we were out and saw her mom. She came up to us and started talking and asked who I was since we haven't met yet. My girlfriend started stuttering, and I took matters into my own hands, and I told her mom that I was her boyfriend and that she was no longer part of the religion that she was in. Both my girlfriend and her mom were caught off guard. My girlfriend asked, why did I say that? I told her that it's been a while since she decided that she wasn't Muslim, and she wasn't worried about her relationship with her parents after telling them. Then she didn't have to wait anymore. My girlfriend and her mom walked away and chatted, and her mom was shocked and said, it'll take some time, but it's okay, and she's just happy my girlfriend is happy. So I thought things turned out great. Later on, my girlfriend messaged me to say that I was out of line and it wasn't the time or place for me to say something that wasn't my place to say. She was going to tell her parents privately when she was ready. I told her things turned out fine, and she said that I was an ass and that I was untrustworthy. Later, her siblings and friends, who already knew too, messaged me to say the same thing, that I was a coward who couldn't keep my mouth shut. So even though things turned out fine, am I the asshole?
What?
I just need to know, like, the setting. Like, they were at a restaurant and they seen each other and he's like, your daughter's no longer Muslim.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, what? That's what you come... That's what? But, yeah, that I don't... Sorry, but yeah, no.
And she's like, your dad's, like, really liking his job, so who are you? How do you... He's like, I'm her boyfriend. Muslims is bad. Islam down. You're her daughter, not.
Is it the Hulk? Is this the Hulk?
Yeah, he's the Hulk.
What's he so mad for?
That's why he doesn't remember. He's like, why are you so mad? Because he came back down to Bruce Banner.
You say he blacked out?
Yeah, he blacked out. He didn't even know what he was saying. Yeah, I think there's some people who don't realize there's those social things that you don't understand. I think I've talked about this before in the podcast, but I'm still mad about it, so I'll talk about it again. When I was dating someone, and I had told them, I can't remember my neighbor's name. And he always says, Sam, hey. And I'm like, I can't remember his name. So I'm like, you've never met him. You go out there and you introduce yourself. You get his name and then tell me. And she went out there and was like, he told me to, like, tell you that he doesn't remember your name.
Oh, my gosh.
That's my ex for a reason. Because I was like, that is crazy. And she was like, why are you so mad? It's a joke. And I'm like, I trusted you.
I have to live
Are you
with
kidding
this
me?
person. Like,
yeah, now he's going to be looking at me like, oh, he don't remember my name. He's so... Which, luckily, he hasn't been. But I'm like, that's crazy that you did that. And you're like, it ended up fine. He told me, I'm like, that's not the point.
It would have been...
It's the principle,
Yes.
Smokey.
But now imagine it's your religion and you're telling your parents that. I'm like, that's 20 times. You don't know how mad I was. I'd be furious if this happened.
Top comment, wait, you meet mom for the first time, introduce yourself, and decide to inform her that her daughter no longer practices their religion all in one conversation? Who the hell do you think you are? That was not your information to share, and that was definitely not the time to share it. You are a raging asshole.
Dang, again now.
Somebody else says, the first two sentences OP said to the mother, no less. I can't help but giggle a little bit thinking about what it was like if everybody did intros like this.
Like, hey, I'm her new boyfriend. Your daughter's not a virgin anymore.
Oh my God.
That's literally the next comment.
Oh my God.
Okay, so the next comment is, it's not quite as bad as the girl who introduced herself to the boyfriend's mom as the one he puts his penis in.
Hey.
It's pretty darn close, though. How did you know that, Sam?
I've said that to people's mothers before.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not
Sam.
crazy.
You're a villain.
I'm not crazy.
You said it on the second time, okay? Come
I
on.
guess so.
You made it to the second time.
Especially if I'm a white guy dating a Pakistani girl, I'm not going to have that mom like relate to me with anything bad. Because she's like, wait, you're probably the reason why she's not practicing anymore. Like, I don't want to be associated with it. So I'm like, parents, you're like, you say all the right things. You say all the nice things. You're like, I'm Muslim, I think, too. I lied.
Can I convert?
I'm thinking about converting.
Y'all gonna help me? Yeah. That's just crazy. That's the first interaction though, too. Like,
Yeah.
like forget dating. Like, this is your first time ever meeting a new person, and that's what you want to go down in history for.
Wow, they really stepped in it. Just like our next reader.
Am I the asshole for begging my girlfriend to uphold a sexist tradition just so she can make a good first impression?
A sexist tradition. Everybody has their own. I'm gonna be controversial.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh,
There we go.
And some people have. Some people are more finicky than others when it comes to saying something is sexist or something like that. But yeah, it also depends more on what it is, right? But in this instance, you said a tradition. Mm-hmm. You could be the one to break the cycle, but at the same time, what's the tradition? There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, direct any hate towards Sam 1. Sam 1, make sure you put that in the comments. I'm Sam 2. I kind of agree. I do think sometimes people are like, that's sexist, and it's, even though like, oh, that's racist, like things like that. I'm like, no, it's not really. This probably is sexist just because they wrote a whole story about it, but I'm curious about what the actual tradition is.
Right.
But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Am I the asshole for begging my girlfriend to uphold a sexist tradition just so she can make a good first impression? I have a big family that's incredibly close. We have big family dinners every few months where we meet at the great-grandfather's estate and eat together. Typically how this works is that the women go cook for the time that they're there and the men don't, which I'm fully aware is sexist as hell. That being said, I'm one of the youngest people in the family, and my protests mean literally nothing. Some of the women choose not to cook, however, this is usually met with a level of ostracizing. The women who don't cook are wives and long-term girlfriends, so they kind of already have a good family relationship doctored in. When I have seen a new partner not cook, it's gone bad. Like completely ostracized, not speaking, cattiness, rudeness, etc. This dinner will be in 2 weeks, and my girlfriend was asked if she would attend. Initially, she said yes, which is great, and I want her to meet everyone and for everyone to get used to her being around, but when I explained to her the tradition, she was understandably bothered. I told her that I understood where she was coming from, however, it was best for everyone if she just played along. I told her this isn't a permanent thing, and that I'm only asking her to do this so that she can avoid bad treatment from the rest of the family. This is her first impression, and I don't think it's best if we cause waves. She told me that it's unacceptable and that if she has to do that, then she's not willing to go. I tried to find a compromise with her on this, but she won't budge and she's pissed at me. She told me that if I think it's acceptable to make her do this, then I'm just as bad as everyone else. While my point is that she needs to make a good first impression. Am I the asshole?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Not gonna lie. Just because so they're not going to make you cook the entire dinner. It's more of a social engagement. Like, well, at least that's how I feel it is, right? So I feel it's like the women, you go in there because you're new and you get to know everybody. They get to talk to you one-on-one without your boyfriend or whatever standing there watching what you say, things like that. I don't know. I feel like you would get to know somebody better that way. And I don't think they're going to be making her slave away, making meatballs all day. Like, if she, who even knows if she knows how to cook? Maybe people don't want to eat her food. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I think it's a tradition of the family, the women getting to know the person that's trying to be coming into the family, I guess. That's me.
A different conversation within this story is not just the view of it, but like the view of sexism, but like also family traditions and integrating people in, like Sam was talking about. Just actually, Sam one, yeah, because
thank
you're
you.
two.
Thank you.
Sam one was talking about just. I feel like there's a few traditions that like people have that it's just like, okay, worldly view, it could seem bad, but like it's just what the family does type thing. Like, and he was also looking out for, like, I know what happens to people that don't do it. So could you please just play along for just this little time? And yeah, it probably doesn't even have to be like a full-fledged meal. It's just what they do in their family. So just if you're dating this person, obviously you see a future with them, you want to be a part of their family, you want their family to like you,
Right.
play by the rules.
Yeah, because it's not like they're asking the women to be like footstools and like to feed the people.
Right.
Like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's sexist.
Right.
And I'm like, I see it just like Sam one. This is the thing. They're like, hey, can you chop carrots while we talk to you? Like, that's what I see it. They're not saying you come up with the menu and you decide everything that we have to eat right now. I doubt it's like that. So I'm like,
Let alone would they let that happen?
yeah.
Right. Don't nobody want to eat that. Like, no.
So it's just like a family thing that you do. Anytime I'm meeting someone's family, I'm like, I'm trying to be on their good graces. I'll do whatever. If they were like, hey, let's go watch. If it was a guy, they're like, you want to go watch football and drink beer? I'm like, I don't really do that, but I'll do it. I'll do it because it's not something I like, but I'm like, I'm trying to get in good with y'all.
I think the girlfriend's reaction too is a little bit dismissive, because it's like she's not even hearing out the side of the boyfriend who's like, I'm presenting this to you, rightfully so, you should be upset, but this is what my family does. And she's just like, that's sexist, I'm not going. It's like, dang. Now I have to make a choice. Do I stay there with you? Or do I just let you come and experience it firsthand?
I feel like I'm on the fence because
Ooh, I like a fence.
I feel like I can see where she's coming from, but I also, like, thinking about it from my perspective, I've literally done things like this, but I wasn't asked to do it. I just, like, came in and was, like, helping out where I could, just because I just, wanted to be able to connect to other people. But I can see where she's coming from, where she was, like, she's coming from a different culture, it seems like, and she's saying, why am I expected to cook when, say, if a new guy came in, all he has to do is sit down, drink a beer, and watch the game, and that's how he connects with all the guys when all the women are in the kitchen. So I get how that is sexist in itself, and even OP, like, understands that. I think the other thing is, like, okay, so if we can accept that, in my opinion, this is like a sexist view, but a lot of people still have this. It's like a very traditional view on, like, gender roles. Then I think that OP's girlfriend needs to decide if she wants to marry him, because that's probably going to be a heavy role in their family, not necessarily between him, but like when it comes to family holidays and stuff. If, like what you guys are saying, if she ever wants to connect with the women in the family, they're probably mostly going to be either in the kitchen or cooking or, like around the women. Because he also mentioned...
Well, not necessarily, because they mentioned that wives and girlfriends, there's a lot of them that are not
But
doing
where are
it.
they?
Don't do it.
That's what I'm saying.
They're
They could be in the
They're out
kitchen.
drinking beer, watching
They're
football.
just probably out
Who knows?
because they don't cook.
I know. That's why I said they could be in the kitchen or making food.
But he said it was wives that have already gone through that
Yeah, they
process.
did it. They paid their time, and they're like, okay, I'm going to go drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she wouldn't have to put up with it every time.
Yeah, that's the only thing where I'm like, I think it's kind of what Sam One said before we read the story is there's some people who think that they have this view of what the world should be, which for better or worse, it maybe should be like that. But they don't take in reality. And so they become overbearing to other people who are living in the reality of what the world is. Everything is not perfect, and we can strive for it, but I'm like, there's times where you're like, you got to take a compromise when it's not that serious. And like, this is legitimately, in my opinion, not that serious. And there's just some people like, no, the world should be like this. Everyone should be equal in everything. And like that, I'm like, well, that's just not what it is. And is this the opportunity for you to fight that fight at this?
Is it going to change the world?
In this family? It's
Right.
like, you're like, I'm going to fight this fight for women, all women, that we're getting the men in there, everyone's cooking, that's equal. I'm like, I don't think this is the right time. And especially for your first opportunity meeting them, this is going to be worse than ostracizing because you took a stand.
Wait until the second time and then make all the men go
get
in
in,
and cook.
get into it, and then slowly change it from the inside.
Or better yet, do it in your own family. Think with the end in mind. A lot of people still just don't do that nowadays. Like, okay, if you have a problem with it right then and there, keep that problem, transfer it to when you are married, and then instill that value in your kids. That's what happened with me. My dad cleans, cooks. My mom got her own business and a job. So she always working. And it's the total opposite. I learned how to clean because of my dad. He would wake us up every Saturday morning with pine saw and
Heavy D playing in the background.
Are you telling me he made Elise clean?
Elise is different. She's spoiled.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Because I'm like,
She's different. She doesn't
You've
know.
never seen her?
but I was like 6, cleaning with pine saw. Wood floors, just scrubbing away. But it's like, you could just take it and use it for the future. It doesn't necessarily, no change is going to come from just this one family event, except for maybe a change in your relationship.
That's
Yeah,
Oh.
that was my point. Was
100%.
you have to choose the same way that she has to choose if she wants to be in his family that has those values. He has to choose if he wants to potentially be fighting with somebody who's like, I will not do that. Like, if that's what you're saying is it's a compromise, and she's saying I will not compromise, well then it's going to be a fight every single time you go see your family.
And I really like when people give heads up. It's really good to
Shut
notify
up.
people. Just like our next
Are you
story
making
where
fun of
they're
me?
being notified.
Am I the asshole for telling a pregnant woman to sit on the ground instead of giving her my seat?
Wait.
My nephews both graduated from high school this morning, and I wanted to sit up front, so I camped out a bit in front of the entrance. I brought my folding camping chair and my headphones to listen to my show. About 40 minutes before the school would let us in, a pregnant woman got next to me since somebody let her in the line. I assume her partner. She asked me within 5 minutes, politely, admittedly, if she could have my chair as she was going to have trouble standing the whole time. I said, no, sorry, I need it more. Bad feet/knees, and went back to my things. She asked again within 2 minutes, and the answer was the same. She got a little mad at me and said that she was going to be struggling the whole time and asked her partner to tell me. He asked me himself, politely, and I again responded that sorry, but I need it more, and suggested that she could wait in their car or just sit on the ground. At this point, the husband directly called me an asshole, but left me alone. Am I the asshole?
That changes quite a lot. No. Sorry. And the only reason she asked for a chair is because she knows that dude has one. She sees it. She knew she was coming to stand in line and she isn't going to make it. Then you should have brought a chair yourself. Just because you see something and it'll make your life easier doesn't mean that it should be yours just because you are pregnant or have some other something. I don't know. It doesn't make it okay.
I do too. The only thing, I have a moral compromise. I mean, obviously, if I put myself in their shoes, I'd probably do it.
You're
but
giving the chair away.
yeah, it's just like everything she's saying, it makes sense. It's like, dang, like if the chair wasn't there, was she going to ask for, where was she going to sit? And then why did she come early? And then why did she just stay in the car? But at the same time, I'm just like, dang, if it were me, I'd give it the chair. But I don't know. He said he had bad back and or
Bad knees and
Knees
bad
and-
shins.
Feet.
Oh, feet.
Yeah.
Bad knees and bad feet.
Everything you need to stand, unless you have some
They're all bad.
crutches.
yeah, take shifts or something. I don't know. Okay, you sit for 5 minutes. 5 minutes up. 1, 2, 3, you're done.
She's like, all right, now it's the baby's turn. I get to sit another 5 minutes.
You're like, here, you can sit on my lap.
In that case,
Oh, that's what I would do.
Sam, I already knew.
That's why I'm on the fence on this one, and kind of along with the other story, because I'm like, this is also another thing where you're like, we have these rigid rules. Like, she should have brought that. Like, why didn't she do that? Where I'm like, this is where like some privileges are a thing. Like, pregnant women do have some privileges that normal people don't have. If I was in that situation, I'd be like, I would have gave the chair up if that happened. So I'm like, I get it's not fair. It's not right. She should have been prepared.
And then she would have seen you eating a sandwich and being like, I'm hungry.
that's-
I'm pregnant.
that's
Give me your
crazy.
sandwich.
But I'm like, I would have
You
given
have
the
a
chair.
sandwich and I am hungry. I
I'm
need
like,
it now.
It's not tuna and peanut butter jelly, babe. You can't have it.
You're like, I'm your husband now.
Yeah. I'm your husband now. So I'm like, I think there's somewhere I'm like, the world is not fair. And people are going to look at you like an asshole if you do not give the chair up. And that's just life. Everyone's looking, people in the line like, I can't believe you didn't give that chair. There's a couple of people like, hell yeah, you did that. But the majority of the crowd's going to be like, you're an asshole for not. Yeah. Boo this man. Boo him. He's kind of like low-key my hero, but also I still get why he would be considered an asshole.
yeah.
I get it.
Top comment. Not the asshole. You refused to give up the chair you brought because you needed it due to your own health conditions. I do feel for the woman, but she and her partner should have brought their own chairs, not assuming that they were entitled to yours.
Yeah, the husband's the asshole.
Yeah.
Boom.
Take care
There
of
we
your
go.
pregnant
There we
wife,
go.
dude. What are you doing?
You already know she's going to need a damn chair. No.
This poster had really bad knees and bad shins.
Bad feet.
This poster had bad knees, bad shins, but he loved having a partner, like a boyfriend, maybe. Like our next story.
Nice job, Sam.
Stressful.
Am I the asshole for laughing at my boyfriend during an I fucking told you so moment?
It depends if it was like something already happened and it's like happened again and they're still laughing.
Yeah.
Because I think you can always laugh the first time, but if you like keep bringing it up and laughing, you're like, okay, chill out.
My boyfriend has a good job and has no problem spending money on stuff that matters to him. Other stuff, not so much. I have my own place and we alternate where we spend the night when we see each other. He has a shitty mattress. It has one spring that snapped me in the back of my legs a few times. I told him he needed to replace it because it was busted, and he kept saying that he would do it, but he never did. I was in the shower yesterday and I heard him scream. I rinsed off and I went to see if he was okay. The spring caught him in the nuts.
Oh.
I couldn't help it. I giggled. It was sort of funny. He thinks I'm an asshole for laughing at his suffering. I told him that he didn't care that much when it was my legs getting it. Am I the asshole?
Nah.
You made sure he was all right first. And then once you realized he wasn't dying, I think you're free to laugh.
I've had the same situation where I'm like,
Specifically this?
well, kind of, yeah. It's like, because I don't think it's a guy thing. I think I don't know what it is actually, but it's that mentality where like, I'm not going to buy another thing. I'm like, I'm fine when I'm in it.
Right.
But then someone else gets there like, what are you doing? Because I'm like, I did have spring, like, it was dangerous. But I'm like, I sleep on it fine every night. I just know I got to sleep in an S shape when I get on it. But then someone gets on there like, how do you sleep like this? And it usually takes that kind of reaction for me to be like, okay, yeah I should buy
Sleep in
another.
the ash.
I gotta buy another mattress. So I get it. I probably could have been in this guy's shoes where this happened.
Sam
I
won.
just see him.
Springs all around me and everything.
It's like formed around his head.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, this is how I sleep.
oh,
Tempur-Pedic.
sorry.
Yes, exactly. Well, a bed of nails. I'm like, you can't move.
Was it the one at your mom's house?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh.
That one lived for a long time.
It was that one?
Yeah, it was that one.
I can see worse.
Yeah, it was dangerous.
It was the worst bed you could ever possibly imagine.
But I'm like, it was free, so I brought it to my house, and then yeah. Well, not the fact that it was a twin too, so it was already bad already. But
It was as stiff as a board.
I'm like, it's good for my back. You make up lies so you can
Just so
to
you-
not afford it. Like,
Right.
I don't want to buy another mattress.
Right.
Speaking of,
Speaking of bad backs, this next poster got a bad crack.
Immediate regret after everyone. He said,
am I the asshole for calling father-in-law a pervert? Nothing close to a crack, Sam.
Well, we don't know why he called him a pervert.
Right.
I'm going to say yes.
Get it.
I'm gonna say no.
I have a 7-month-old baby boy. I'm breastfeeding, but baby is currently weaning. I'm convinced that my father-in-law is being weird about my breastfeeding, and not that makes me uncomfortable way. I made the baby popsicles from my boob milk a few months ago, and father-in-law put in a group chat that I'd love to try one of those with hearts as eyes emoji.
That's a Sam comment. No.
I said, what the fuck? They're made from breast milk. And he said, oh, didn't notice the caption. Today, I baked the baby some muffins. It's a recipe that calls for half a cup of breast milk, so I made them per recipe. Father-in-law comes over unannounced and says, oh, yum, somebody's been baking. So I told him, no, those muffins are for the baby. They're just fruit, flour, and breast milk. I have a normal cake we can have. Then I left the room to wash my hands, came back, and one of the muffins was missing. I asked husband, and he said he had no idea. So I asked father-in-law, and he said that he just ate it. I said, that's disgusting. I told him they were for the baby and contained breast milk. He doubled down and said, it's okay because breast milk is vegan. Note, no one in the story is vegan. I told him he's a creepy pervert and to get the fuck out of my house. Husband is baffled by the whole thing and was convinced it was a misunderstanding, even though I explicitly said they were made with breast milk. Father-in-law said that I'm a dick because I made loads and that he wouldn't miss out. Mother-in-law was blowing up my phone until I asked her if she was really okay with father-in-law drinking milk that came directly from my breast. I think she didn't get the whole story. My sister says it's fucking gross and father-in-law is a weirdo.
Yeah. Checks out.
Okay, I think he's weird for eating the muffin, even though you said that. But I also think that it's weird that you're making all this shit with breast milk. What the? Who does that? It's for my baby. Can your baby even eat muffins, or are you just out there baking? Like, babies don't eat muffins. That's what I'm confused about. All kinds of stuff. Like, how do you have so much breast milk? I know people who breastfeed and they don't have that much. They're like, I'm pumping for 8 hours a day and I still don't have enough. How the hell does she have so much?
You got a factory out.
She needs to be sending that to the needy. Now be making muffins that nobody's gonna eat before they go bad.
I mean, the baby would probably eat it.
The
All the
father-in-law,
muffins, though?
father-in-law liked it. So.
I think I'm the only one on the opposite side of this. I don't think
He's weird, Sam.
I don't think breast milk is any weirder than cow milk or any other goat milk. Like, I think I'm on that side because I think what they're doing is still, she's saying it's not sexual and they don't think it's sexual. I'm like, you're still tying it to the breast being sexual. And I'm like, no, it's just producing this milk that any human can drink. There's nothing against humans drinking breast milk.
Is she tying to it being sexual or just the fact that it's
I
coming
feel
from her
like
body?
the disgust that they're feeling, like, oh,
Yes.
this is, because I'm like, Sam saying I would say something. I'm like, I would say, I want it straight from the tap. Like, that's a perverted thing to say, and that's weird. But I'm like, just eating a muffin, it's a piece of food that had breast milk in it. What's weird about eating the muffin?
Because it came from somebody else's body.
That's a thing
It's
that's
not weird.
edible. A thing that's edible. It's not like it was
Boobies are not edible.
a menstrual blood muffin.
I hope you're not over there chewing on boobies, Sam.
Well, the milk is edible. It's drinkable.
Okay.
It's potable. Potable.
It seems like you're saying this from experience.
Okay, but Sam. Okay,
I've
yes,
had breast milk before. So I can
Sam.
confirm that.
You're probably okay with eating your wife's breast milk muffins
Or
and
any
breast
other-
milk popsicles.
Strangers' breast milk muffin.
You would eat your daughter-in-law's breast milk popsicles.
If she, that's the only part where I say it's weird. If it was out there and she was like, sure, I would definitely eat the muff or the popsicle. The only part that's weird to me is that she said no, and then he did it anyway. That's what
Yeah.
makes it weird to me. It's not the what it is. That's not weird to me.
So I get what you were saying,
Yeah.
Sam. Like, she's making it sexual, saying that it came, like, she's sexualizing it. If it was just breast milk from whatever.
If it's okay from your partner but not from other people, like why is that a thing?
Right. But I also
How is
like
it sexualizing it?
the point, because I guess it's not sexualizing it. It's making it more awkward, weird. But at the same time, she said no. Don't eat
Yeah.
them. That'd be like me going into somebody's kitchen and eating something that they made for dinner that wasn't supposed to be for me, I guess.
But I get people being weirded out by breast milk. I
Right.
just think I'm on the opposite. Where I'm like, I don't think it is weird
It's weird.
because
In my
there are
opinion.
people out there selling breast milk products.
Correct.
You can go on the internet and buy muffins.
How much have you
made.
purchased?
None, because
He has a
I didn't say I
closet
like
full.
breast
He has a
milk.
plug.
He has a closet full.
Breast milk tastes like the milk in the bottom of cereal, like sweet. It's too sweet. It's not like a good cooking milk.
I feel
would
like
say.
it makes me laugh because I feel like somebody heard that and they're like, "That sounds delicious." Like,
Well, some
me.
people would like that, but I'm like, I wouldn't. When you drink it and that's what you're like, you didn't expect that. You're like, ugh.
You said the milk at the bottom was saying, Sam, you're doing a horrible job promoting this.
That's why I'm like,
was like,
I
"That's not
wouldn't
fire."
do it now, knowing what it tastes like.
But in a muffin, sweetness would be good. But I mean, I'm just saying.
I think it's just a concept of it's bodily that word coming from. Like it's like a part of a body part that's kind of not even explicit or kind of just shut off. Like, you can't just walk around with them hanging.
Yeah.
You can't just walk around with your shirt off. So it's like, okay, it's a sacred part of the body and it's coming from that.
That's the part I push back against because that's like the whole free the nipple thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
people are putting so much on someone's body that it is just a body. It's not anything different than a man's body. It's just like, it's a body. Why are we putting all this thing on it?
Right. And she is sexualizing it, though, because she called him a pervert.
Yeah.
That automatically means that he's trying to sexualize her breast milk. So, like, saying it's from your boob. Now I'm going to eat it because it's from your boob.
Because I thought the story was going to be like, somehow my
That's
father-in-law
so bad.
always in the room when I'm breastfeeding. Like,
So did I.
He's always finds his way in there. Because I'm like, yeah, that's a pervert right there.
okay, so there's an update.
Oh, God.
I asked my husband what he thought I was mad about. He was in the room, but on the other side, it was occupied with the baby. And he said he didn't realize that his dad actually ate the muffin. He thought that I was pissed because he was messing with him. He also didn't remember the group chat incident, but agreed that both incidents together is creepy. I called mother-in-law to clear the air, and she revealed that father-in-law has always been very interested in lactation, and she actually only fed husband for 4 months and always behind a locked door. Apparently,
What? Wait, what?
OP's husband, she had to lock the door to feed her son, which is OP's now husband. Because
okay.
because grandma's husband was really obsessed with lactation.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is turning into a very different
Yeah,
story.
this is different.
Apparently, he moved jobs after a woman complained that he kept intruding on her pumping in a designated space in the office. I've told them father-in-law is not welcome around me, and I've asked for the key to our house back. I shared the concerns about him tampering with my milk and contaminating it, and also that if his own wife wanted him locked out, then I'm entitled to that too. The comment that hit my husband was the one about father-in-law getting off for years on the memory of eating the gross as fuck baby muffin. Husband said he won't be able to look father in the eye again.
Well, yeah, when you add all that, it's weird.
Yeah, right.
That is weird. and
You
I'm
had to
not
lock your
condoning
own
any of it.
husband out of a room so you could breastfeed your that.
He's like, Daddy.
That's weird.
Dude, something's wrong with that dude.
Well, yeah,
being
espe-
obsessed with lactation is
it's like a
Right.
fetish.
Yeah.
But it's a fetish.
And it's
but
sexual.
Including
It's definitely no,
is.
it's sexual for sure. That's sexual.
just like the including kids, like that's like the gross part about it.
Right. And it like you should be able to control yourself so that your kid can eat food like that
Right.
they need.
Right.
She shouldn't have to be locking you. Okay, that's a whole different thing though. Oh
Yeah,
no.
that's
Yeah,
disgusting.
that's nasty.
Top comment, he's weird, but what insane cookbook are you reading?
Oh! Who's the commenter? Sam1. It says Sam1's the username.
Right. That was me. That was me.
I like to drink from the tap. But our next poster firmly only shops in the store. But not any store. Specifically, a picture store where coffee and cereal is eaten.
Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my boyfriend's food after he ruined my food photos? I have an Instagram account dedicated to photos and short videos of food from local restaurants in my city. I don't turn meals into a whole photo shoot production when I go out, but I like to snap a few photos of everything as it comes out. I've got about 1,000 followers. It's just a hobby for me, but I have made friends with some other bloggers, and we like to go out and get pictures together and try new restaurants. I prefer doing this with my foodie girls because my boyfriend hates it and will go out of his way to take a big bite of the food or mess up his plate with his fork before I can snap any pics, and he'll roll his eyes when I take pictures of my own food, so I pretty much stopped bothering when we went out together. Money has been tight lately because of some medical bills, so I haven't been able to go out and eat with my foodie girls, and the infrequent date with my boyfriend is the only chance I get to eat out. I had to sit him down and say, look, let me just enjoy things, conversation with him, and told him that I was going to take pics of my food when we went out and that he could please just not be immature about it. And since we alternate who pays for dates, I told him I would appreciate if he could spare the 30 seconds for me to snap a picture of the appetizer plus his meal on the nights that I was paying. And I got a sort of half-hearted do whatever you want confirmation. Sunday was my turn to pay, and he let me take a picture of the appetizer with minimal fussing. But when the entrees came out, I went to snap a picture of his, and he messed it up with his fork, and then he reached over and stirred up my pasta to also ruin the photo of my own meal. I was so pissed off by that I refused to pay his half of the end of the meal, which pissed him off because he said he wouldn't have ordered a cocktail if he knew that I was going to skip my turn. He says that I owe him one because I don't get to just decide not to pay according to our agreement after we've already ordered. Am I the asshole?
Oh, weird rules.
You sound like 2-year-olds. Okay. That's still hard for me because I don't know if she's actually... I guess if it's your hobby, but you know he's going to act like that. If it was truly 30 seconds, I think he could have just held off. But if she's sitting there like straight up photo shoot on some pasta and he's starving, that's a different story.
I don't want to say they should break up, but if he like doesn't like the little things that she likes and he makes it not fun for her to enjoy little things like that, like it's a picture, and she's even only saying, like, they had the conversation, she's like, listen, can I just take a picture of your food? And then even, I don't know, just the immaturity of him messing up her food, not saying that at the last second she should be like, you know what, I'm not paying for your stuff.
Right.
But just the fact that they're both acting really immature, they just don't really sound like they're good for each other, because he won't let her have the little things that she wants. And I feel like that's kind of a relationship is. It's just all those little things that add up. So if she can't appreciate the little things around him and they annoy the crap out of him, then, I mean, sorry to say it, Sam, but maybe they should break up.
No, I was actually thinking that because I'm like, I usually hate when Reddit says, I'm like, we don't know this relationship. But I'm like, I 100% think you should dump him because it is so little. And I think we all know people who just take pictures of the... It's just a thing that happens. And I'm like, it's a little bit. It's 20... I don't even think it's 30 seconds. It's like, you go over, you snap it, and you're done. And he can't just allow that to happen for someone that you're supposed to love, that at least have some feelings for. I'm like, what is this hurting you? It's not like, I want to eat your food before you eat your, like something. I don't even know what it would be. I'm just like, that is so crazy that he's taking this stand where he's just going to keep messing it up. Because I get doing it one time as a joke, but continually doing it, yeah, I would dump him. Because I'm like, yeah, this is my thing I have. This is a fun thing I do.
Right.
And you're ruining it. Yeah. Dump him.
Retweet.
All right. Well, I think that's it for the only videos that we shot tonight. Thanks, Sam 1, Brandon,
Thank you, Sam
2.
1. Thank
Thank you for
you.
being here tonight.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.